Hey guys, Devin here from American Aquarium. Hope you're doing well. Hope your holiday season is awesome and you're getting lots of fun time with your family and friends. I want to thank you for such a positive response regarding the last video over redox and using the Wonder Shells as a way to long-term stabilize your tank against acid buildup. I thought this week what I would do, since there was some questions and I saw some comments concerning a couple areas of this, I figured I would readdress it, and this would be my week, this week's video. And I want us to imagine our aquarium like a car battery. Okay, when our positive ion plates in a battery discharge from using the battery, we have an alternator that keeps that charge. Okay, similarly, in an aquarium, those ions are depleted and we have to recharge them. And this is an aspect that many people don't think of, that we want to actually have electromagnetism in the water. So the first thing is making that clear, that our water is like a battery, and when our positive ions are depleted, we have to replenish them. And best, what we have found from keeping thousands of tanks is that we're not just replenishing them when they're depleted, we're constantly replenishing them, as in a daily additive or a constant dissolving, very much like a river that's running over rocks into a stream for fish. That's a constant, almost like a water change. The one thing I want to address is this is like a constant water change. People say, oh, well, good thing I do a water change, do them regularly. What we're thinking of is even more than that. This is like doing a constant, daily, all-day water change, or having like a river system instead of an aquarium system. And then two, what I want to address is just because you have hard water right out of the tap means nothing about the electrical charges, is what we're thinking about. You can have the minerals, but those minerals may not have electrical charge. So what we want to do is purposely add electrolytes to our aquarium, even if we have hard water. So that way we know that we actually have them and we're providing them daily. This can be done by a daily dose of something like Chem Replenish, or even better yet, and this is what the whole video from last week and what I want to show you again today, something like the constant dissolving, slow release AAP Wonder Shell. That would be a better choice, because then you're not having a dose every day. So remember, when we have these oxidizers, they're constantly wearing away our positive ion charge. We want to combat those oxidizers with a reducer, and AAP recommends using the AAP Wonder Shell mineral block. The reason that we go on to say this is the best choice is when we were maintaining all these aquariums, we couldn't be there every day. We couldn't be there to dose every day. So what we needed was something that was going to last longer term, to, let's say, another 2 weeks, so we can come back out and maintain the tank. And that's when the AAP Wonder Shell came about, and when we were using them in a lot of tanks. So remember, there's these oxidizers, reducers. There's fast acting, there's slow acting, there's long lasting, there's temporary. Okay, what the AAP Wonder Shell is a long-lasting, slow-dissolving reducer. Similar to the experiment that we were doing last week. If you haven't checked that video out, please take a look at the last video last week. We take 5 ml of water. In today's experiment, I'm going to be doing this with 3 different vials to give you some idea of this slow-acting, long-lasting. That's really what I want to show. So, we have some aquarium water. Now, I'm going to add a very strong oxidizer, potassium permanganate. This is meant for helping with disease issues. We don't want an overabundance of oxidizers in the tank. We want to focus on that we have reducers. So let's pretend that we're making an oxidized tank, let's just say from mold buildup. Take our oxidizer, and we're just going to add a few drops. Take a look at how it actually stains the water. Let's pretend that this is an oxidized environment. And when we're talking about balancing an aquarium with oxidizers and reducers, we want to find a middle ground. We don't want too much oxidizers, we don't want too much reducers. We want oxidizers, but with a mindset shift that we're going to be putting more reducers in the tank. So here was the same test that we did last week, where we got lots of oxidizers. Now let's do a fast-acting temporary reducer, a very strong reducer at that, which is prime. So we did 3 drops. Let's go ahead and do 3 more. We'll do 3 drops of prime. 1, 2, 3. Take a look there. I'm not even going to have to shake it. See how quick we reduced our oxidized environment? Prime is a great temporary reducer. Okay, so now let's do a similar test, but show the AAP Wonder Shell as a reducer. Okay, same aquarium water. Take our strong oxidizer, 3 drops. Have an oxidized environment. And now, to speed up the effects, because remember what we're promoting is a long-lasting, slow-dissolving reducer here. So to speed up the effects, I'm going to take some dust of a Wonder Shell to show that it's already dissolved. Now we're going to take a pinch of that, throw it in our oxidized environment. We have a reducer that we're using in an oxidized environment. Let it dissolve. And there you go. You can see that we just took an oxidized environment and we reduced it. Okay, so now what we just did is we sped up the process of what the Wonder Shell is going to be doing for your tank long term. Now what I want to show you is I'm going to take the same aquarium water. We're going to oxidize it with our potassium permanganate. We have our oxidized environment. And now here's the idea of what makes the AAP Wonder Shell so great. I broke off a fragment that is the shell, the mineral block. Now when we put this block into our oxidized environment and even give it a little second and some time, we can even say turn the vial upside down. You can see that our environment is still oxidized. That's a good thing. But what's happening now is our minerals are slowly dissolving into the water column, and it's slowly reducing long term. And so in between water changes, this is releasing electrolytes into the water and slowly reducing. And that is the main key, the thing that makes these AAP Wonder Shells so great. Make sense? So go ahead and take a look at all 3. The one in the middle is the oxidized with prime reduced. The one on the far end over here is oxidized, but then powdered Wonder Shell that changed it to reduce very quickly. And the one on the end is oxidized, but then we're slowly reducing it, making a stable environment and balancing out our redox, and also thinking about electrolytes to keep our positive ions charged in the tank, which is best for osmoregulation of fish. Water that comes right out of the tap, even hard, not necessarily has these electrolytes, so we want to dose. If you have soft water, even more so. If you use RO, even more so. But even hard tap water, we want to have these electrolytes, so we purposely dose them, and then we do water changes to get the mineral out, but then we got the electrical charge. I hope that helps you guys even more understand the idea of a Wonder Shell and providing constant electrolytes. The block slowly dissolves, so each day we know we're getting electrolytes in the tank, and that's the point for long-term health. If you guys have any questions, for sure ask. Take a look at the resource below. It's the largest resource for aquarium redox potential online to understand how we keep our aquarium like a battery. We're balancing oxidizers and reducers. And of course, if you haven't, take a look at the video from last week. Like, subscribe, share, of course. And I appreciate you guys. Happy New Year. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. One last way to think about this, since I've used some analogies to help everybody understand, is let's just say growing flowers in a garden. I once had it said to me by a very wise woman who was very good at her nursery that she owned. I asked her, how do you keep your flower baskets so amazing? And the thing that she said to me is, unlike liquid fertilizers that are quick, that make things grow out fast but then die off fast, she used minerals that she put in her soil so that way they slowly leached out over time through the whole growing season, and that way the basket stays thriving all season long because the minerals have to dissolve slowly. The same thing. We're providing those minerals and those reducers into the soil. That's the same thing we're doing with our water column. And also you can think about this in the substrate of your aquarium as well for plant growth.